Elementary music teacher friend, you love what you do, but you might feel unappreciated and, in fact, unseen some days. You may even feel like you're on a music teacher island and just want to connect with other music teachers who can relate to both your struggles and wins when it comes to teaching elementary music. I get you and understand completely the feelings you're having. That's why each and every week, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast will provide you with solo and guest episodes that will help you realize you're not alone in your music teaching journey. Throughout each episode, my goal is for you to be able to walk away with actionable steps and ideas to help you feel like you're ready to take on the new week with whatever challenges may be thrown your way. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Peresta, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're at home, in your car, in the shower, or wherever else you're listening, grab your cup of coffee or whatever other beverage is nearby and listen in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking about time blocking and why it works. I love schedules. I love organization. I am a self-proclaimed perfectionist, type A personality type of person. But what I can tell you is with teachers I have worked with, whether it's through one-on-one coaching, small group, in my membership site, courses, whatever, that I've worked with and explain what time blocking is and how to really be intentional about your calendar, it has helped tremendously. They've said it's been a huge mindset shift for them, and it has been something where some of it's Captain Obvious things, but others it's just reminders of stuff you might already know. And other things I'm going to explain to you will be things that you can implement that maybe you haven't tried before. So, first of all, when it comes to time blocking, it is just something that helps you stay focused on what tasks need to be done and when. My brain, I kind of explain it in a way where I have about probably over 20 tabs open at all times. So sometimes it's hard to know which one to close, which one to keep open. Do I need to open up a new tab in my brain? And my actual computer looks the same way. I always have a ton of tabs open, but there's always a reason. When I'm done with that certain task or chunk of work, I will close those things out and open up new things. So maybe you can relate to that. Your brain is always in 100 places, and it's kind of hard to know what tabs to keep open when and when to shut other ones. If so, time blocking is something that can help you stay focused on what needs to be done and when. As a teacher, you already have a schedule given to you, and especially as a music teacher, you know what grade levels, what classes are walking through your door at certain times, how long they're going to be in there, the transition times, when your lunch is, when your plan is. All those things are given to you. That is already an example of time blocking, actually. So part of your day is already time blocked out for you. This episode is specifically talking about your plan time, mornings when you get to school, after school, your evenings, your weekends, the times that you're away from school. How you organize your calendar is what we're talking about today. It's all about being intentional with your time. Part of your time blocking is going to be focused on like cleaning tasks or keeping, laundry, dishes, cooking, groceries, things like that. I guess life maintenance. Other parts of your time blocking will be blocking out time for yourself. I put on my calendar, I do put in when to work out. Now that might be walking. I have some workout apps I do. I actually have been trying to make it to the gym more, not very often, but when I can. But anyways, I do have a time blocked out. It's at night, 7 p.m. my time. I'm going to have to adjust that whenever my boys' sports schedules get back into full swing. I won't be able to work out at that point, at that time every night, but I will adjust that time. That block will still be there. It just may need to move. So once you put blocks in your calendar for, like I said, life maintenance, maybe it is exercising, or that includes self-care, some self-care blocks throughout your day. Other time blocking might be other work you need to get done. Like I said before, after school, maybe evenings, weekends, you're blocking out time to get things done in that area. Those blocks won't always stay like concrete. You will be able to move them around. It'll be flexible because your schedule, if it's anything like mine, whether you have kids or not, it's going to ebb and flow. So, but once you have those blocks in place, you'll be able to move them around and just knowing, oh, I just need to move this time on my calendar when I can do that particular thing. So let's think about a performance coming up. I know during December you probably had a ton, but maybe you have a spring performance scheduled for a certain grade level or whatever it might be. So let's talk about a performance. Well, when you're planning for that program or performance, you are going to, we've talked about on this podcast before a lot actually, which is what my curriculum design roadmap course goes into, is backwards planning. Long range planning is looking at the bigger picture and working backwards. So you're going to be doing that. And while you're doing that on your schedule is looking, here's the date of the performance. I'm going to work backwards to know what I need to do in that 2-month window in order to get from point A to Z, which is the performance date. But on top of that, you're going to be time blocking specific pieces, including what needs to get done during each class period with those group of students in order to get ready for the performance. Also, your time blocking will include what do you do during your plan time, or whether it's that actual block of plan time or your personal time that you're planning, that you will be what you need to do to get ready for the performance. So when you're time blocking, what that will look like, and I'm using a performance as an example, I'm going to give another example in a minute. But maybe your first priority, you're going to say, okay, until performance time, I'm going to week 1, I'm going to really heavily be focused on the music, looking at the music. How am I going to prepare the kids? You're going through the score, you're highlighting, you're circling things, you're figuring out parts that you're going to have students try out for. And then maybe week 2, you're focusing on the speaking parts, whether you're writing them or getting them ready or handing them out, or once again, tryouts for that or whatever it might be. Maybe week 3, you're heavily, and I'm thinking about my own experience with getting performances ready. Maybe week 3, you're focused on logistical things, whether that is where students are standing on the risers, what students need to come down for a particular part and go back up. How is that happening? How are students getting on and off the stage? Things like that. So on and so forth. Each week you're planning, you're time blocking what I'm focusing on. What happens is maybe you have the brain where you don't need to do this, but for me, what happens is I have all of this stuff that needs to get done, and it ends up being crazy. By the time the performance gets there, I'm not even enjoying it because I feel like my brain is just mush. So when I'm focusing heavily on something each week that needs to get done, then once the week before the performance comes, I know there's going to be some last minute details I need to focus on, but it's not like bigger pieces. It's just little small things that need to get done because all the bigger pieces are finished. And I'm not scrambling to try to get them done. So let's talk about another example when it comes to your plan time, your actual plan time that is given to you throughout the day. And I know some of you, because I hear this, I've been in this business now, my business, The Domestic Musician, for 8 years. So I have talked to so many music teachers, and I'm mind blown that some of you aren't given a plan time. So let's say you find yourself in that camp. Whenever you sit down to plan, whether that is before school, if you're a morning person, after school, if you're not a morning person, your lunchtime, whether it's, you carve out a couple evenings a week to work, the weekend. In fact, like I'm recording this podcast episode on a Sunday, so sometimes I have to work on weekends as well. So whatever that time is that you're actually planning for your teaching time, this is how I like to do it. And this is what's really worked well for me, having something I'm focusing on each day of the week. So therefore I know when I sit down to plan, I have all this other work I need to get done, but this is what I'm focused on. So for example, on a Monday, maybe that's the day you're actually lesson planning. You are only focused on lesson planning on a Monday. you're researching lesson planning. Maybe you are looking at some songs or activities. Maybe you are looking at what standards you're going to focus on. You're looking at your curriculum map, scope, and sequence, curriculum design roadmap students. Hello. Maybe you are, once you're looking at that, you know what songs you're going to plug into what standards. You know, if you're working on a performance, what you need to do. Monday is planning day. Now, how you schedule that or how you plan around that is going to look different depending on what you need to do in order to actually lesson plan. Tuesday could be something like analyzing student data or class data. It could be plugging in grades. It can be looking at data of, you know, maybe you're jotting, and I've shared on this podcast how to do this. You're jotting down notes in the margins of what songs you've done or activities you've done, what students or classes are ready to move ahead and which ones need to repeat something. That's when you're kind of going over that data. You don't just write it down, but you're going back over it so you know what to do with the data, right? That's Tuesday's data day, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe Wednesday is your preparation day. What I mean by that is you're thinking through after you lesson plan Monday, okay, Wednesday's the day where I now know, okay, I'm going to need to pull out these instruments for next week. I'm going to need to make these photocopies for next week. I'm going to need these manipulatives for next week. I need to communicate with these teachers that their students need to bring their Chromebooks to my classroom. Whatever it might be, that's the day you're kind of doing all the preparing for the lessons, whatever that looks like. Thursday, maybe catching up on emails and communication, whether it's emailing parents or catching up on emails with your administrator or other teachers, or maybe you are emailing other music teachers back in the district, or you're asking questions and whatever. And then Friday is the whatever day. It can be the day where you are any of the stuff you did not get to the rest of the week or other work that you have come up. That can be your kind of catch-all day. This may not be the plan that works for you, but it is the plan that worked for me. And you can kind of each day, as you can see, I'm chunking time to focus on one particular thing. So what it looks like for you, make a plan and just go with it. And it can always change. So for my home life after work, I'm the type where when I come home, I want to get right away, get some laundry done. I've shared before that I used to start a load of laundry before I go to work and then put it in the dryer when I get home from work. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But if it doesn't, I put 4 to 5 p.m. is when I'm focused on laundry. That is including bringing laundry to the laundry room, putting it in the washing machine. If I do need to transfer any laundry to the dryer, never happens, right? It happens all the time. Then that's when I'm doing that. I'm getting clothes out of the dryer. I'm bringing them to where I fold the laundry. I'm sorting them into piles. We have 5 people that live here. So my boys are, air quote, helpful. Not really, but they therefore will be putting their laundry up and so on and so forth. So 4 to 5 is when we focus on laundry. If my family does not do laundry every day, we get buried in it. We literally are living in a laundry house. So from 5 to 6 is when I'm kind of focused on dinner. Now, I also have to think about my kiddos' schedules. They all are in different activities, and I have to think about dinner may just look like throwing, I don't know, a sandwich in their mouth. But that's when I'm focusing on dinner. I really am big on meal planning, and so I have to keep my sanity. I do that on the weekend, so I already know what I'm planning for dinner. It could just be leftovers or something easy, but from 5 to 6 is when I'm focusing on getting some kind of food in some kind of human's mouth. Sometimes we don't always eat together either because of depending on my guys, our calendar lately is cuckoo as the boys get older. It's crazy. But anyways, so time blocking from maybe like 6 to 7 or 6 to 8. I'm picking up around the house a little bit. My kids are helping me with that. We're just getting ready for the next day. We're getting lunches made if we need to do that. Showers done, whatever needs to happen. And so for you, what does that look like for you? When you are at home at night on the weekend, how can you batch your day and time block your day into chunks in order to get things done so you're not feeling like you're drowning in the housework. You're drowning in what am I eating this week? You're drowning in the what needs to get done. I mean, guys, think about all the little things that need to get done in life. I'm thinking about Christmas. Oh, it's so fun, ho, 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 but also, woo, overwhelmed. All the gifts that need to get bought, the different celebrations, like different family get-togethers, the different food I needed to buy and make, the different teacher things. My kiddos needed things for their schools and so on and so forth. So for you on a day-to-day basis, you're going to have gifts you need to buy for friends and family birthdays and things you're invited to and events you need to attend. And time blocking, when those things happen, helps save your time. You're so much time because then you are not like, oh my gosh, okay, I have this other thing pop up. What do I do? And it's not as overwhelming. Also, please don't forget about time blocking for you to just literally block out time to do whatever you want. I'm not saying you're like from 3 to 4 on a Saturday, I'm going to sit and watch TV. From 4 to 5, I'm going to take a nap. No, I mean, you can, but you don't need to be that rigid with it. But you could just say Saturday, 12 to 6, me time. That's it. And then if someone asks you to do something and you know that Saturday you need a heck of a break, no, you've time blocked that time to just do what you want. So anyways, the whole point of this episode is just to kind of wrap your brain around the concept of time blocking, how it works, why to do it, how it helps your brain. If you want to look up, just type in time blocking on Google, you'll see a whole lot of suggestions around this. And actually, if you type in time blocking for teachers, it gives you some suggestions around how to do that for teachers as well. So I hope you even got one key takeaway from this episode. Hang in there. You're almost done with January. You're doing so great, and have a great rest of your day. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening into the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. There is an exclusive Facebook group just for listeners of this podcast and any elementary music teacher called the Elementary Music Teacher Community Facebook group. Come on over and join us there, where we have conversations around the podcast episodes and encourage each other each and every week. And also head to my website, thedomesticmusician.com. I have some free resources there that you can download to help you gain traction in your classroom today, as well as the blog and the membership site and all kinds of other goodies to help you keep going in your music teaching journey. I cannot wait to keep connecting with you and encouraging you and spurring you on in your journey of teaching elementary music. Hang in there, have an amazing week, and I will see you soon.